My beautiful friend, it's your boy King Gabriel again, here for another impromptu video. And today's video is knowledge versus belief. Now the prime example of this is knowledge of God or the source of being versus belief in God or the source of being. Now, belief means that something is outside of you. For instance, if you ask a kid if they believe in Santa Claus or whatever, they're believing in something that is told to them, something that they've never seen or anything like that, but they believe that this man comes from the sky and drops off these toys, etc., or a saint, whatever you'd like to call him, and disappears, and that's really awesome for them because that belief allows them to think, well, okay, there's somebody that really wants to do good things for people, and they see goodness, they see light in the world. Now there's also the opposite possibility of that in belief though, in which if Santa Claus doesn't come one year and drop off presents for them, right, for whatever reason, they get really upset, right? And they could project and say, well, Santa Claus made a mistake, he's a bad guy, etc., and things like that could develop as well, and all that is possible in belief. However, in knowledge, there is a direct knowing of it. For instance, when we say we know the source of being, we could feel that it's diffused in us, and not in the body, but in us, in our minds, in our experiences, in everything, in the people we meet, right? And even outside of that experience, if you're really sensitive, you can sense that it's even further than that, right? It is everything. It is the source of everything that comes into existence. And in that knowing, in knowing that connection, there is a great difference between that experience and belief, right? Belief lends to projection, right? There is extension and projection as well. For instance, it was stated some time back, thou shalt not kill, etc. Thou shalt not kill in the Bible. That's one of the 10 commandments, right? And the funny thing about it is that was used as one of the laws to keep people in order and not cause people to do things to others that they wouldn't have wanted done to themselves. Yet, when it was time for the Israelites to be free, etc., they actually killed thousands of people to be free, right? Bird sacrifices are used in some faiths, and animal sacrifices are used. That is killing. It's killing. You're taking a life away, right? And if you're taking a life, then that commandment doesn't apply in that situation. So then is it really, as we spoke before, true? And would a God or a source of being have that happen to his own creations, right? Now that is really strange, if you ask me. And the people who believe that that's just the way it is because the all-powerful God said that it's okay to do that in that instance, then that's very interesting, because that's the same as saying that because a person is a billionaire, they can kill 1,000 people today and that's alright because they're all powerful, because they have so much money. Nobody could do anything to them because they have so much money. So that's okay. They could kill 1,000 people if they want. No, that's not alright by any means. And anyone who would allow themselves to fall under the spell of saying, well, it's okay because this is all powerful, so I can just let that happen because that's the way it is. No, that is a mind that is allowing itself to give into total delusion. Because truly, if you look at it, why would you support something, and this is a question, right, to yourself and your own conscience, why would you support something that would allow something like that to happen to its own creations? And that is why it is not true at all. It is not true at all. It is fear and not love that generates that response. Love would see that if you're directly connected to it and you're connected to everything, then why would you let that perish? It's an idea that man has about God and has fear, not love, but fear of that bigger thing that allows him to do things that are immoral and unjust to others and treat others as he would not have himself treated. So understand that love is necessary and love has to be the foundation. If something is unloving, then clearly it is not the true thing. It cannot be true. because it is not loving at all times, right? Therefore, it is not true. So it is about power and not love that most of that is set up, right? Now, would you yourself take the life of your own creations? For instance, if you had a sibling, or let's say, well, not a sibling, a daughter or a son or something, would you take its life like Abraham was about to do with his son? Now, when you look at that, most of us, the answer would be no. So then why would we support a bigger entity in our minds, which is an idea that says it's okay to wipe others out? It doesn't work. It doesn't work. And understand that this is man's ego again trying to control. This is human consciousness, and we must look beyond it. There were mistakes made in the Holy Bible already as well. And I'm not one to speak against it, but I just want you to become aware that human consciousness is possible of making errors on this level. And then it's up to us to discern still within our hearts and within our direct connection what is true, right? There's a Bible called the Wicked Bible, right? Which was a mistake made in 1631, in which that same thing that we were just speaking about, I believe it was the third commandment that said, thou shalt commit adultery. Instead of thou shalt not commit adultery, it said, right, because of a printing error, thou shalt commit adultery. And that is called the Adulterous Bible or the Wicked Bible, etc. Right? They have names for it. But the fact is, it was possible to make a mistake. And that mistake affected many people. The Bibles were burnt. It was from the London Royal Press. And they were all burnt. A whole bunch of them were burnt. There are a few existing ones that are highly valued in price right now, right, on eBay and all these different places. And there's one, I believe, in the New York City Library. Yes, the New York Public Library. It's there, and that's evidence that, man can make mistakes in these things regardless of how much you want to put it up there and say, well, oh, this power has everything on lock. No, it's not a power that works like that. It's a power that's within us. Loving, expressing to others, extending, connecting, doing things that deal with health, with healing, with wholeness, with wellness, with love. Right? So if you think that following a path that says that it's okay to do this sometimes, but not okay to do it other times, that is conflict. Right? And that is from fear. So belief leads to that. Knowledge is the direct experience. At this point in time, we need people to stop believing in the fairy tales and to start knowing directly through practice, through direct practice of truth, through direct application of the principles that allow you to connect to that source of being that's within you and within everything. We need people who are willing to do that, willing to step up, willing to do that for others, willing to live that as their life. That is the only way. The way is to live your life in truth, right? And you know that. I'm not telling you anything new here, but it's whether you're willing to practice what you know or stand by idly and continue to say that the thing in the sky or whatever it is that you believed in the past will save you. No, it won't. It won't. Right? The truth is, you need a direct connection with it, and it takes some work to do that. Just as you've done work to believe the other thing based on the past and read day by day the same thing over and over, hoping that some miracle in between would happen that would allow you to somehow break through. Well, maybe the miracle is right in front of you, as consciousness is evolutionary. Things happen, people expand, their minds open, more information comes in. It is evolutionary. Be open. Don't stick to the past. The past is done. It's gone. You're here now, and you can progress from here forward. So that's what I wanted to say. Knowledge itself is directly connected. There is no doubt in knowledge. There is no question in knowledge. Because why would you question something that you know you are? Belief, however, is always up to question, because it requires perception and it requires an effort to look at something a specific way or to shift that something. So let's move together. Eternal love and and infinite peace.